I've literally convinced myself at this point, based on everything that everyone's telling me, my therapist, my family, my friends, that I'm just doing everything wrong. All of my friends have their fiancés and their boyfriends and their husbands that they prioritize. Like, as far as I'm concerned, I've been left behind.
This is a young woman, a very pretty woman. And of course, my heart goes out to her, to be clear. Anyone who's unhappy, and seemingly miserable with their situation, that's always a tough pill to swallow. But she decided to, as one does, vent her personal problems to the internet.
Oops.
And it's getting quite a reaction.
I've literally convinced myself at this point, based on everything that everyone's telling me, my therapist, my family, my friends, that I'm just doing everything wrong. I'm healing wrong. I'm thinking wrong. I'm training wrong. I'm doing relationships wrong. Everything I do is wrong. And I'm so sick of it. Stop comparing. It's not even about comparison.
There's a common denominator.
Like, I genuinely just want love in my life so badly, and I'm so sick of waiting. Like, when is it going to be my turn? What more do I have to do to fix myself before I'm just allowed to be happy, before I'm allowed to meet this universe soulmate person that God supposedly has for me?
You can be happy right now.
How much harder do I have to pray and manifest and wait?
Rock,
I feel
paper,
like I'm
scissors,
being punished for something I didn't do. And I'm just so tired. I'm so tired. I don't expect a lot.
I disagree.
I just want love in my life so bad. All of my friends have their fiancés and their boyfriends and their husbands that they prioritize. Like, as far as I'm concerned, I've been left behind.
Okay, so a couple of things here. Of course, that's my heart goes out to you, but this person is gorgeous, obviously, objectively. So that means that either you're insane or you have insanely high standards. I'm sorry, there's no reason for a woman in her mid to late 20s who's beautiful to be venting to Instagram about how she cannot find a guy. You say, I just want someone like my friends. I guarantee you there's a guy out there who will love you, who will treat you well. The problem is you may be 5'9" and only make $55,000 a year. There is that guy there for you right now. I guarantee it.
And I understand that. And I felt bad because I was like, look, I waited quite a while, and my wife waited quite a while. We didn't find the right person, and we have standards. My standard was, silly.
She had insanely high standards.
She probably
Gerald.
did, but that's not the
Mrs.
first
Morgan.
That's not the first thing that I went to, though.
That is what it is, Gerald. You're 6'4" and you run a business.
Yes, you're strong. You have new tooth money. You're the real deal, Gerald.
Yeah, Gerald's like, I don't know why she was in her 30s. I don't know. Was the cutoff 6'3.5"?
You're the real deal.
Yeah,
man.
she's 6'4". Like, she was holding out these 6'3" or higher and has to at least be CEO.
She made the right move. She waited out. She found the one she wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's perfect. But this lady, I guarantee you, by the way, I guarantee there's at least one guy that she knows personally.
Yes.
And watching that video that's going,
Yes. Probably a guy of average height, average build, relatively successful, has some stability in his life, but is uninteresting.
Yeah.
There's no reason for you to be, unless you really do have to work on yourself a whole lot or you have insanely high standards. I'm sorry. It's not like that is the situation.
I also have a really big problem. And so I actually laid out a scenario for you where I'm like, maybe what happened is she lived the life that everybody told her, like, go out, be single, do your thing, don't worry about it. And then got around to it like, oh my gosh, I'm 27, 28, 29. I better start kind of thinking about this if I want to have kids and want to pursue marriage, and all my friends are getting married, oh my gosh, and freaked out. And then went on and had high standards. I think if that's the case too, I think that's also a problem. But she said, how much harder do I have to pray? How much more do I need to manifest? And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, you just said some stuff that is not biblical. You're not supposed to manifest a husband. This isn't something where you have Billy the magician go bing and go husband, and he just shows up at the door. No, it's not in any book of the Bible, first, second, or third of any of it. She basically said to it, how hard do you need? It's not about praying hard. God has a plan for your life, and there's a permissive will. There's a lot of different ways that can go, and it's not you sitting there going, God, if I'm only good enough, can you please send somebody? But this is pop culture Christianity at its worst. It convinces single men and women that if you're only doing this, if you only do that, if you only pray hard enough, if you only go to this conference and give that money and serve in that country, God will bring your mate. Stop buying that lie. Those things can be true.
Right.
Or you can find your mate in those situations, but don't buy the prosperity gospel BS that tells you you just have to manifest
Well, it's
harder.
even worse
That's
than
not
that.
how it works.
You're right, but pop culture Christianity now is feminism combined with Christianity.
Yes.
That's the thing. It's you are perfect, you are enough. It's that life. In other words, if you're right as far as, let's say, living the life, okay, then we're back to insanely high standards. If you are in your late 20s and you lived that life, second adolescence, and you want someone your age who didn't, they're probably married, to be clear. Or you end up with, you are perfect just the way you are. No, you're not. You're good enough. You may not be. This is the problem.
Right.
There is a biblical plan for your life, and there's an antithetical plan, and that's the feminist plan. It's go
the
out,
selfish
pursue the
plan,
wrong
yeah.
things, career. Look, you do have a choice to make. You do have a choice. You cannot have it all, but you do have a choice. And that must be nice because men don't. And that's the truth. And I had a conversation one time with a feminist woman, good woman, but a feminist woman. And she said, that's the biggest lie. She was sort of anti-third wave feminist. And she said, the big lie that feminism told is that you can have it all, but you can't. You either have to pick to be a career woman or you can, be a stay-at-home mom and wife. But and I said, must be nice to have a choice. She said, what? I said, no man has ever been given that choice. Do you think that if a man wants to have a wife and a family, he's told, and you can get all that if you're just a stay-at-home dad, you'll be beating them off with a stick? Never. From the moment we knew that we wanted to have our very own naked lady at home, you were told you're going to have to work for it. Toiled by the sweat of your brow.
A naked lady? Come on, what?
Yeah. You want your own home naked lady.
Someday, Al, I tell you, I'm going to have my very own naked lady at home.
Yes.
She's going to have boobs and everything.
At least one.
At the beginning of that video, she also mentioned, she goes, everyone's telling me that I'm doing this wrong, and I'm doing that wrong, and I'm doing this wrong, and I'm doing that wrong. At some point, when do you look inward? At what point do you go, well, how do I, well, I'm doing everything wrong. Everyone's saying I'm doing everything wrong. Maybe they're right.
Right.
No,
They could be
everyone's
right.
wrong. And maybe it's not like a F you, you're a loser. It's like a, hey, well, what am I doing wrong? Like,
Now, it would be very different if, let's say, this woman was in a long-term relationship for
She has
10
nervous
years.
farts. That's what it is. She has nervous farts. She always
I bet you, I don't know this woman, but I bet that's a big thing. I bet she was in a long relationship for a long time and it was just the wrong guy. And
That's not what she's saying, though. She's saying, I can't find a guy. I can't. How can you not find it when you're a pretty woman if you have it moderately together? And I will say this, look, and this is a problem with the modern dating sphere, and you know what? You can comment below. Everyone faces different obstacles, men and women. But there is an issue of accountability. Men, they're not told that they're wrong. They're corrected for being wrong. They're in the workplace, if you're on a sports team, by your own friends, right? Physically corrected.
If you're too wrong, your friends physically correct you for being too wrong.
Yes, it's not a gossip, but women tend to damage through other people through manipulation or gossip because they don't physically fight as much. Men, it's, hey, you stepped over a line, you can't do that, and you come to blows. A boss says, hey, that was a bad job, and I'm sure that happens with women too, but we don't get the sugar-coated version. If you're on a sports team, my God, you're told that you are wrong all the time. Oof. So you can't go through life getting to your 30s as a man without having had to take accountability in a team environment. You don't get to say, everyone says I'm wrong. It's, I was wrong and I face consequences, and you correct it, or you decide not to. So I hope that this woman gets it right. I hope that this woman does look inward, and maybe it's insanely high standards, or maybe there's a little bit of the clinical insanity. Maybe you boiled someone's pet rabbit.
I know most women don't want to hear this, but maybe she should try and chill.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's.
Relax.
Are you saying smile more? That's sexist.
No, I'm kidding.
Never mind.
down.
Don't smile more. Die alone.
Watch Slider with Crowder live Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.